What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with another Jasper Carrott sketch. This time we're going to be checking out what I believe is probably the most requested sketch on our first reaction to Jasper Carrott, which is Mole Sketch. It was either this or something about insurance.
Claims,
yes, those seem to be the two that are the most requested. So we decided, let's go with Mole Sketch. I think this is going to be really, really funny. We loved Jasper Carrott the first time we checked him out, which was only about, what, a week and a half or so ago? I don't even remember. It wasn't that long ago. But I had never heard of this guy until literally maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm kind of surprised based off of the first reaction because he was so hilarious.
Yeah, I am too.
And I'm really starting to get into the classic comedy, guys. The classic British comedy. I'm really starting to enjoy that to go along with our two Ronnies and whatnot.
I've got this mole, you know. Right. It's making a hell of a mess of my garden. Well, it's strange really, because like I bought a house out in the country about a couple of years ago, and I inherited this mole. Right? Like, well, being Birmingham born and bred, you know, well, you don't come across a lot of moles in Birmingham. Found a mole in Birmingham, they'd eat it, you know.
They'd eat it.
And then we bought this house, like, and this mole has driven me mental. I tell you, like, if ever I cop hold of it, I'll bury it alive. The mess they make, it's feel like I spend hours on my lawn rolling it and cutting it and getting it all level, and you wake up next morning on zits all over your lawn.
Yeah, I've been there.
Everything to get rid of. Well, the thing is, I mean, first of all, you think, oh, mole, get rid of the mole. So you go along to the hardware shop and you say, can I have a mole trap? See? Sensible. And they sell it you with one of those knowing he'll be back smiles, you know. And you give him like a no, I won't. And the mole trap's like a big metal thing, you know. You have to, and you have to bait it with worms. I used spaghetti, hope they wouldn't notice the difference. So I got this trap and baited it with worms and things, and I put it into the run and covered it all over. And the mole came along, right, and ate all the worms and shoved the trap out the way. That's not playing the game, is it, really? And I tried it for about 4 or 5 months, you know, like, and like the mole just got immense. Because I was feeding him all. So I went back to the hardware shop and he gave me his. and he sold me a box of fireworks. Right?
Fireworks?
Mole smoke.
Mole smoke?
And they're like Roman candles, you see. And like what you do, you light the end and you stick it down the hole, you see. Like, and the smoke, which is heavier than air, lies in the run, is poisonous and kills the mole. No, it doesn't. The moles love them. Oh, you can hear them. Purple one. And after a while, you develop a mole twitch, you know. Like and people have got these loopy ideas how to get rid of moles and things, and they always start. The thing is, you're such a mental state, you accept them all, you know. And they always start off by saying, like, there's only one way to get rid of a mole. So I was there, and this bloke says, there's only one way to get rid of a mole. He says, you've got to shove garlic and mothballs down the holes. They don't like the smell. Really? Yeah, it never fails. So I was there, 4 ton of the stuff. Let the lot completely. Bigger molehills, you know. And this other bloke comes, he said, there's only one way to get rid of a mole. He says, you've got to buy those little wooden windmills from Woolworths.
Little wooden windmills.
And I don't know, you know, those long wooden stick things, and it's got a plastic bit on the end which whirs round in the wind. He says, and you get one of them.
Like a whirligig thing.
Yeah.
He says, you stick it down the middle of the molehill till the end gets in the hole. He said, and when the wind sends the whirly bit round, it vibrates the stick and the noise scares the mole away. stood for it. I stood for it. I had 200 of them in my lawn. First gust of wind blew the fence down. Boom.
Does that actually work?
Clearly not.
No, I mean, like, I know growing up, like, my grandpa, he would put up, like, plastic bags on makeshift fencing around.
Well, I feel like
the
that's
garden.
to scare away like deer.
Deer
from
and
the
stuff,
garden.
but I wonder if that would work for moles and whatnot.
Probably
too.
not, 'cause
Like
they're
the noise.
underground.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, they're underground. They're not going to hear this above ground.
Well, he's saying by sticking the wood down far enough into the...
And it just kind of shakes it back and forth, so it's not turning all the way. It's just, well, Anyway, all right.
So it was just a while. When I finally gave up, it was a while ago. And I was in the local boozer, you know, and I was in the bar area, all the yokels coming in, I was sort of having a pint. And this bloke came in, you see, and he came up to me and he said, "Here, oh, you've got a mole." You know, there's only one way to get rid of a mole. Blow its bloody head off. I said, what sort of... He said, no, with a 12-bore. I said, I've never seen the thing. How am I going to shoot it? He said, oh, cost you a night's sleep, mind. Yeah, he said, yeah, what you've got to do, he says, you've got to stay up all night in your garden. He said, when it's quiet, Moley likes it nice and quiet.
Moley?
He starts digging. When he starts digging, he starts throwing his earth up on your lawn. When he's doing that, he's only half an inch from the top. Get your old 12-bore, line it up. Boom! Deader.
Dead alert.
I said, it never fails? Never fails. I said, right, where can I get a 12-bore? He said, oh, you can borrow mine for a £5. Yeah, okay. So he came round, it was on a Sunday, strangely enough, and he bought this great big 12-bore, you know, and a great big box of cartridges, like enough to do a bank raid. And so it was 11 o'clock, right, 11 p.m. on a Sunday night, and there I was, I got this great big 12-bore, and I'd strapped a torch to the barrel.
A torch?
Oh,
flashlight. Oh.
Stuck this torch to the barrel, and I got a revolving stool, you know, and I was...
Elmer Fudd.
And all the neighbours are watching him. What's he doing? I don't know. Imitating a lighthouse. I was there, like, it was about 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, like I'm on my stool. And suddenly I heard ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. And there was this earth coming out on top of my lawn, about 5 yards ahead. I got me 12-bore. Bye-bye, Moley. The thing is, I know this sounds stupid now, but I'd never fired a 12-bore in my life.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I flew 10 yards off my stool and shot all the apples out my tree. I was furious. I was possessed. I was... The garden was like a psalm. There was this blue flashing light.
Can you imagine seeing that in the middle of the night?
These two coppers standing there like... What are you doing, Carrott? Mole catching!
Mole catching.
So they wandered over, you know, and I took him inside for a drink. And always popular, that. And the one guy was very sympathetic because he'd had a mole. And So he said, he understood, and carry on, but like, be quiet. Be grade 12 boy. So now looking for a 12 ball with a muffler. Can help out. But they send you bonkers. They really. Whew. I mean, it's there now. Dig in. My garden. But they've got me beetroots now. What's on tonight? Beetroot? Oh, great. I love beetroot. It's not as good as mothball and garlic, is it? And then fireworks so we can see what we're doing here. It's bloody noisy up there the other night, wasn't it?
Oh man, this dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the way he uses his facial expressions and he gets animated into that. I love when comedians do that. It's a very specific type of comedy. I don't know how you describe it. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's different from the people who just get up there and they just tell jokes and they don't move. They aren't animated.
Whole body language and everything.
I love that. But this reminds me of an issue I've had with Moles before. Nothing funny like this, but Moles, he's not joking. Moles can be so annoying. Now, I think he was talking about his garden being his yard.
Yes.
We are talking about, when we say garden, we mean like where we plant vegetables and fruits and things. And you remember last time we grew a really big garden, like pretty good size. It had lots of different crops and whatnot. And we had issue with mole, and they was coming and destroying the root system of all our crops. It was so annoying.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Is that what we got out here now?
No, those are groundhogs.
Groundhog, yeah.
But same thing. They like to eat the veggies.
Yeah, I was thinking that. And we have a groundhog that comes out over here. There was an old shed over nearby, and there was a bunch of animals that lived there, like crazy amounts of animals. All stray cats.
An abandoned shed.
Yeah, it was an abandoned shed, and stray cats and like all sorts of animals
Skunks,
lived there.
raccoons,
Yeah, we had a whole zoo up in this shed over there. Near us, and it wasn't our abandoned shed. I don't know whose it belonged to, but they finally tore it down.
Yeah.
And since then, you see this massive groundhog. I mean, this thing's the size of a big dog.
Small dog.
I would say a medium dog.
Okay, medium dog.
He's big. He's huge. He's like massive.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the biggest one I've ever seen before. Anyway, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah, that's funny. I definitely want to check out insurance claims from him too.
Yes.
Because I bet it's hilarious.
Yes, definitely. Guys, let us know in the comments what other Jasper Carrott sketches we should check out next. But something I'm curious about. He's got a guitar.
I know. I was wondering about that too.
That must mean that he does some sort of funny singing, funny song. So we'd like to check out some of those as well. But, again, it seems like his thing is orange. I mean, makes sense, Jasper Carrott. But I am curious where he came up with that name.
Yeah. I heard in the comments of our last video that his wife actually married him and didn't know his name wasn't Jasper Carrott. She thought that was his real name for a long time.
Wow. I didn't see that.
How that happens, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. He's just so used to having that name that he just doesn't even mention it. That, oh, wait, that's not my actual name.
Yeah, she's just, Jasper.
I'm going to be Mrs. Carrott. Mrs. Carrott. Yeah. Anyways, guys, enough rambling from us. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video or others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey. Until next time, peace.
Bye.